Hi everyone, Angela here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. So today I was going to make a 6x6 card with some of the elements from Sentimentally Yours new creative packs. So there's 3 packs in total. The one I'm going to use today is called Sunflower Secrets. So if you haven't seen these already, they're 250 GSM, so proper good quality card, acid and lignin free, silk, single-sided silk card, and there's 315 elements altogether. You've got 24 A4 sheets, 2 sheets of each, 12 designs. So just to give you a close-up at some of the elements, aren't they fabulous? And they're really easy to cut out as well. And as if that wasn't enough, Phil has been really thoughtful and he's gone ahead and produced an 8x8 paper pack to match. So there's 3 of these as well to go with the creative packs. And these are 24 sheets in here, 2 sheets of 12 designs, and this is a paper, so it's 190 GSM. And they have the sunflowers on them, and then you've got some nice plain is not the right word, linen effect backing papers, which I'm going to use today as well. The thing with the creative packs is Phil's done them before. His last release, I believe, was about 2 years ago. But you always run out of the papers before you run out of the elements that are in the pack. So by giving us the opportunity to have this as well, it's going to make it last longer and go further. So that's a win-win, isn't it? So I've already cut some bits out, and I'll talk you through what I've used when we come to use them. But let's do the inky bits first. So I'm going to do the sentiment, and this is just a die cut that I've cut out from one of the Layered Differently die collections, Elegant Rectangles, and it's this one here, that one there, second one in. Okay, so, and I love that shape. It's great for sentiments, isn't it? Perfect. I'm not going to use a stamping platform. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp as it is, and I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I know it's a blue and yellow card, but I want the sentiment to stand out, and I'm using the Happy Mother's Day. Oh, I need to show you those in a moment. 1 second. Let me just stamp this and then I'll show you those. So just line that up and push down, and just hold that on for a second to let the ink grab, give it time to sink into the card, and I'll just bring that up so you can see it. Aren't they fabulous, those stamps? Love that. Okay, they are from the Just Saying Occasional Sentiments, and it's an A6 size. There's 21 stamps in total, and what I love about these is the different fonts on them. So each sentiment isn't just one font, it's mixed it up a bit, which makes it really cool, I think. And I say the Happy Mother's Day one I've used. You've got sending good luck wishes, sending congratulations your way, happy anniversary, retirement, condolences, Father's Day, babies, Valentine's Day, new home, graduation, Easter coming up soon. Fabulous. Okay, so let me just clean that stamp because I have to do that. And then I've got one of these tabs which I've cut out from the Elements pack, and I'm actually going to have this down the side of the card, and I wanted to put on here, wanted to stamp on there too, and for that I'm using the Floral Curios Sweetheart Sentiments, and I'm going to use the With Love one. I think that was my plan, she says. So again, in the black, I think. So just light tapping. And I love the font on these ones too. So it's going to go crossways. And I want it near to the top. So just push along. Give it a moment to grab. And then lift it off. What's lovely about these is they have tiny, I don't know if you can see them, they've got tiny little hearts on the end. Fabulous, isn't it? Okay, clean that off. So they're my two sentiments done. And then this background, let me get rid of my butterfly. So these two at the bottom, what I've used to cut these out. So this is one of the papers from the paper pack, the Linen Effect, which I absolutely love. And I've gone for the blue to accentuate the blue. And the dies that I've used to cut this out is the Layer Differently Graceful Squares. And it's the outside one, the biggest one, to cut this blue one out. And then to cut this one out, I've just used the one next to it, the one in from that. And while we're at it, this is also a new release. These are 3D embossing folders. And this one is called the Daisy Cascade. I don't know if you can actually see how deep that is, but it is actually, I mean, Phil's dies were always really deep anyway. They're always, although they weren't actually called 3D embossing folders, they were proper deep embossed. But this is even deeper. So that's fabulous. So I'm going to do a bit of inking on this. Just put that to one side. And I'm going to use the Distress Oxide Tumbled Glass for this, and a brayer. And I'm just going to brayer over this to give it some colour. Now, you don't have to do this. You can use a brush if you want to, like a blending brush, or if you've got a smoothie, you can do it that way. I'm not looking for this to be perfect. But it's just to add a little bit of colour, a little bit of interest. So just from the edge, just ever so gently, just run over and then come back. Run over and then come back. And you can go over as many times as you want to pick up, but don't be too heavy with it. Be quite gentle, quite light. If I pick that up and show you. So it's just given a bit of colour to the raised areas on it, which is perfect. And what I didn't say, maybe, I don't know if you're aware, if you're new to crafting, you might not know this, but cut out the shape before you do the embossing. Don't emboss and then try and cut out the shape, because obviously you'll flatten all of that fabulous. Look at the back of that. That's how deep that is. Okay. Now, it's a shame to waste all this. In fact, I'm not going to. I'm going to run it over a card, because there's still quite a bit of ink on there, and that would make, look at that. That will make a nice background. Ooh, could have even stamped my sentiment on that, couldn't I? Because it's perfect colour. But yeah, I'll leave that for another time. But yeah, rather than waste all that ink, it makes sense just to roll it over a piece of scrap card that you've got, and then you can use it again. You could even mop up on the mat as well, but we haven't got time for that. But waste not, want not, and all of that. So I'm just going to dry that off so that I don't get in a kerfuddle. And then, apologies if you can hear banging, my next door neighbour has a shed, and he obviously didn't like where it was, and he's moved it from where it was to somewhere else, and he's banging. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's pretty loud, so I apologise if you can hear it. I'm just going to use the same ink and a smoothie. Again, you can use blending brushes, whatever you like to, that's fine. And I'm just going to go around the edge just to put a bit of colour on the edge. So I think it will stand out nice that way. Now just be careful, because obviously this ink is probably still wet. So you want to be careful where you're putting your thumbs and whatnot. Just a little bit of interest around the edges. And this one too. And then I think I'm going to do the same with this sentiment. Make sure I haven't got ink on my fingers. And just go around, just to give it a bit of colour, so that when we put it on the card, it blends in nicely. If you wanted to, I mean, you could go over, but I quite like that. It looks like it's got a backing card behind it, but it doesn't. Okay, so put the lid back on the ink pad. And now I think we'll put some of this together. So this is a paper, and you can glue it to the base if you want to, but I want to give it a little bit of height. So I'm going to use 3D foam, but I'm just going to use the 1mm 3D foam just to raise it up a tiny bit. Don't want too much height on the bottom. And like I say, you can use glue if you want to, but if you did that, you'd probably just have to wait a little while for it to dry, because being paper, you might see it come through a little bit. But in the centre, need some more 3D foam. Okay, and then take the backing off. I have got a bin down beside me. I'm not throwing it on the floor. Although sometimes I throw it aimlessly and it does end up on the floor, but it's not intentional. There is a bin there. So you can, if you want to, in fact I will. I'm going to use some of Sentimentally Yours PVA glue. I have got a big 500ml bottle that I usually decant into this one, just for ease of use really. Just put a little bit, just to give you a bit of slip, to make it easier to position on your card, because 3D foam will just grab usually, and once it's stuck, it's stuck. And I've done that before, not been pleased. But you live and you learn, don't you? If you don't make any mistakes, then you don't learn anything. So there's no right or wrong way to put this on. I was looking at it and thinking, is that the up? Is that the up? It doesn't really matter. So just where you think it needs to go. Just place it. Don't push down until you're happy. I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to push down. And that's just given it a tiny little bit of dimension. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit, just lifted it off the page a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put the beautiful Daisy Cascade embossing over the top. Sorry, I keep pushing this too far forward. Need to be here, don't I? Apologies. So again, I'm going to do this with 3D foam. I may need to escape and get some more in a minute. So I've just realised that I've got the thinner one and I've got the thicker one, and I do for quickness I prefer the thicker one, but on smaller pieces the little one, the thinner one is fine, isn't it? But for quickness sometimes the yeah, that's that one gone. So just excuse me 1 second. It's over here. Squeaky chair. Apologies, that's quite noisy, isn't it? Yeah. Nice new roll. I need to find some 2mm 3D foam that's as thick as this. I've got 2mm foam pads, which are useful, but oh, it's annoying to keep putting one pad on, take the backing off, one pad on, take the back. Whereas like with a roll, you can just take the backing off really quickly. So much easier. Life's too short for all that faffing about, don't you think? And we just want to get on and craft, don't we? I do. So again, I'm not going to bother with glue. Just want to, it doesn't, well, it wouldn't hurt to put it that way. There's no reason why it can't go that way, but I think that's the right way up. So just bear with me while I line that up. And I think that's fine. When you're happy, put it down and press and commit. So far so good. Proper card, stands up. So I've cut these elements out. Now this actually is this size. I didn't cut it down or anything. It's one of the elements in the pack that I've cut out. It's that one there. That one that I've cut out, and the little tag that's a cut out. I can find that. Where did I get that from? I did get it out of here. I know I did. You can probably see it, and oh, it's down here. You can probably see it, and I can't. You're probably shouting at me. With this tab, what I done with another piece of the Daisy Cascade embossing, I actually, I'll show you the bit I cut it out from. Had a bit of scrap left over from when I cut this down. I thought, I know, I'll make another tag. So that's all I did, is I just lined that up and then cut around it to give us this. And I'm going to put one on top of the other. That was the plan. So this one, I'm going to edge this in the blue tumbled glass ink as well. There might be, yeah, there's still enough on here, I think. I don't need to dip in and get any more. I don't want too much, just a little bit. You could use Stormy Sky, Broken China. I wanted to emphasize the blue. I know sunflowers are yellow, but I wanted to emphasize the blue on this card, so I had planned on that going there. So I think I need to raise that up as well. So again, now, shall we go? Yeah, no, we'll stick with the 1mm, I think. This time I am going to use the smaller 3D foam, the narrower one. Just to put on the back. I might go right down the middle. Somebody's cutting their grass as well out the back now. That's the thing. Now the sun's come out, everyone's all, oh, garden, quick. Let's do things in the garden. I think it's going to be nice for the next few days, but I think then it's still early March. We're very early March, so anything can happen, can't it, with the weather? But you have to enjoy it while we've got it. So again, you could put glue on the back if you're not completely happy with how you can position, if you're worried, but I'm just going to line it up like that and pop that there. She says, is that straight? Yeah. And then when you're confident it's straight, push it down. Now this tab I was going to tuck under there. That's that plan. I am going to snip, I think, a tiny bit off here because it's sticking out a bit further than I wanted it to. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit off that. And bear with me, I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer rather than, oh gosh, and clatter, crash, wallop. Just want a little tiny bit off the edge. Teeny weeny, incy wincy bit off the edge. I do apologise, I'm making a lot of noise, aren't I? Banging and clattering. Okay, let's bring the card back in. Do I need to go around the edge? Yeah, I think I do. Don't need to do down this edge because that's going to be under the other topper. So just around the edge here that you're going to see. And I'm just going to put this on. That's better. Goes under a bit further. I'm just going to put this on with glue, but I think I'm going to use glue gel just for quickness rather than the PVA, because I can then give it a teeny weeny little bit of dimension. Put my topper back on, stop it drying out, and then just position that under there. I haven't pushed it down completely flat. It's a teeny weeny bit raised. You may not be able to see that, I don't know. The teeny weeny bit raised. But it's gone under there nicely. Okay, so far so good. So next bit is our tag. I plan on placing one on top of the other, but again I'm going to go around this one. I think I do need to put a bit more ink on. I'm going to go around the edge of this one too. I don't see much of this side because it's going to be under the other tag. But just so everything ties in, take a bit of the colour around. And I didn't want to roll over with the brayer like I have with the background. I didn't want it to be too much blue, she says. I think that's fine like that. And then this is going to sit on top a bit like that, and it's going to go like that. That's the plan. If I move the camera, I do apologise. quite like that. So I'm just going to glue this on top. In fact, I'm going to put the glue on here, I think. A little bit of Sentimentally Yours PVA. I've lost my top, so I keep a pin in the top of it to stop it drying out. And then just decide where you want it to go. And smooth it down to hold it in place. Now, because it's embossed, it's not going to be completely flat on there, but that's okay. I don't mind the added dimension that it gives. That's good. Okay, so it's going to go on here. I want it to come over a bit because the plan is to put the sentiment there. So if I put it too far up, then that's not going to fit. And I don't really want the sentiment down here. So I'd like that down there so I can put the sentiment there. And the butterfly was going to go there. That's the plan. So as we've got this topper on 1mm foam, this here we're going to need to put on 2mm foam, I think. Or we could use glue gel if you want to. And this bit here we can just put on normal glue. So with my 2mm pad, I just double check that. Yeah. Just lift it up and I can see. Yeah, I can see. I think you can see that, but what I'm looking for, no, you can't really see it, sorry. I'm trying to get the pad in the position so that it butts up against this bit. And then this, I'm going to use some glue gel actually, so it will get into all these little bits. Where are we going? Yeah. It will get into the debossed areas, I think. Just pull that back a little bit so it doesn't get dry up. And take off that backing. And then pop it into place. Like I said, I think just slide it along and you'll feel it. That's where the pad is. Again, I don't mind if that is not completely flat with the the glue gel underneath. That's fine, I don't mind that. Gives it a bit more dimension. So far so good. Okay, now I have got a bow that I was going to put on here. Is that too much blue? What do you think? I've done a yellow one. Maybe I should have done a white one. Don't know. Would yellow be better? Yellow, blue. See, this is me all over. I did the two colours because I knew I wouldn't be able to decide beforehand, but now I still can't decide. Yellow or blue. I made these freehand. I didn't use a bow maker. I do have a bow maker, but I can't find it, so I did these freehand. I'll show you how to make them actually. I might use a yellow one. Just pop that out of the way for a second. So just with your ribbon, if you probably know this already, but if you don't, just take a strand of ribbon and make 2 loops, 2 bunny ears if you like, whatever, 2 dog ears, whatever. Pop this one through the hole and then just pull. And then you just want to adjust it to the size of bow that you want. So you could have a big bow if you want, or pull it down so you make a smaller bow. And that's all you do, and then you just cut off at the bottom. And to give it the shape, I just folded the ribbon. So you've got it like that, just folded it in half and cut that way. That gives you that nice shape. And then just do the same with the other side. Turn it round so I get it the right way round. Like that. Cut that way. And that gives you a nice shape. And you can make it bigger or smaller, tighten it, whichever. Do I like the yellow bow? Oh, Angela. Can never decide. I think maybe yellow, because I think blue might be overkill. Blue. Yellow. Actually, I'm going to stick with blue. I've got 2 yellow bows now. I'm going to stick with blue, I think. Sorry, I'll keep moving the camera. Yeah, I'm definitely going to stick with blue. And I'm going to use glue gel to pop this down. So I just want a blob of glue gel there. Stick this back on. And then just pop that into place. Yeah, I think blue's nice. I like the blue. And then for the butterfly, again, I've just cut this out. It is actually a butterfly from the pack. I haven't die cut it. It's there. I don't know if you can see. Just there. That's the butterfly that I've used. So you don't even have to have a butterfly die. I'm just going to take that tip off a little bit. And all I do to give it some shape is I use a bone folder. There's loads of different ways of doing it, but I like to just curl it ever so gently. That way. And then I use the bone folder in the center just to fold it back up to give it some shape. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel along this bit. And I'm going to place him there. I want him pointing that way. Yep, I like that. And so then Sentiment is next. Just put my cap on my glue gel. And the Sentiment is going to go there. I think that needs to be on 3D foam, I think, rather than flat. And I think we need 2mm foam tape for the Sentiment. I'm going to cut a couple of little bits just for my own peace of mind. and take off the backing. So this is quite, I mean, really, the creative packs are fabulous because you can make such quick cards with them. Just put a little bit of glue there. Yeah, so if you've got a quick card to make for something, for whatever occasion, you've got all of the elements that you need. You just need to add a sentiment and that's it. You're away. Let's pop that there. What do you think? So I think it needs some gems. I think. So I'm going to the yellow rather than the blue because we've got a lot of blue on here, haven't we? These are the lemon sorbet gems and they come in 3mm, 5mm and 8mm. 8mm, yeah. I rarely use my 8mm. I'm terrible. I've got, I'll show you. This is the 8mm jar. I've got 2 jars. And this one is full of 8mm. This one has got all the 3 and the 5mm in. And you can see how much I've used of that one. I tend to use the smaller ones more than I use the bigger ones, which is wrong. You should use them all. They are gorgeous, but I'm going to be different today, and I'm actually going to use the big ones. I'm going to use these big 8mm ones, and I'm going to pop one in the corner, each corner of the card. I'm going to use my other glue actually. It's the same glue, it's Sentimentally Yours PVA glue, but I've decanted it into one of these and it's got a much finer nozzle, one of these nozzles. I just find it easier. It gives me the size blob that I want. I don't have the steadiest of hands. You can see that blob is quite a nice blob. That blob is not such a nice blob. But I'm going to put a big gem over the top of it, so it's going to cover it anyway. But yeah, that's why I like to use the thinner nozzles. These pickup tools are amazing. If you don't have them, you need to get them. It's got a wax tip on it, so you can pick up your gems really, really easily. Makes my life so much easier. Pop them back in there. So I've used 4 out of that pot. Woohoo! Now, what do you think? Does it need any more gems? Do I need to put a gem there and a gem there? Maybe I do. Let me see. Let me get some smaller ones out. So do I need that size, 5mm? Or do I need the 3mm? Oh, decisions. Why is life so difficult? I think maybe the 5mm to finish it off. I think that would look nice. I hope you agree. Pop them back in the pot. Pop my lid on because I have been known to spill them everywhere. I'm just gonna pop the glue on there. Put my lid back on straight away so it doesn't dry out. And then with my pickup tool, just pop it on there. And that one on there too. And that's it. that's the card finished. What do you think? So if you haven't already ordered your creative pack, then why not? They're amazing, so good. Quick, easy cards, or you can make them a little bit more elaborate if you want to. Whatever's your bag, whatever you like to do. I like that with the ribbon on. Don't usually use ribbons, but it's quite nice. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll try and do a few more videos. I'm not good at doing videos, but I'll try and do a few more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks. Bye.